Hey there, good evening, everybody. Welcome here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. So, we're here to do the episode of favorites, which we do Wednesday night. A little bit late, not too late. Had a couple of things to do that took a little bit longer than I thought. However, we're here to do a top 10 list today, which is my favorite 10 albums that came out with what's new so far this year. So this is a kind of a halfway point of the year kind of video talking about I've done, maybe 16 or 17 albums for what's new so far this year. And I've taken and ordered the top 10 as I see fit here. Pretty much dominated this list by a lot of hard rock. The hard rock is the main theme here for this year so far, at least in what's new. For those of you who don't know the difference, what's new is the show that I do every week in which I talk about everything non-prog related. And then the other one is basically prog related. Now, I sometimes bounce the progressive metal and prog metal or progressive metal. Sometimes it's in this category, sometimes it's in the other, depending on how I feel about the album. So anyways, we have 10 albums here that we're going to talk about. At least 4 of these I've looked into purchasing. I almost got the Armored Saint one last week, but was unable to purchase it because I got there a day too late and a dollar short, as they say. Okay, so we're going to do these the way we always do them, which is my least favorite to my most favorite, or worst to first if you prefer. In this case, it would be number 10 going up to number 1. So number 10 is going to be the Black Crowes' newest album, A Pound of Feathers. This is their 10th studio album, so they've got a whole whack of them out there. Of course, they're American, and they're one of the more famous bands on this list. This is a hard rock album. I thought this was a pretty catchy album. I've always kind of dismissed the Black Crowes because I had a couple friends that liked them. I really care much for them when I was younger, but this is a pretty solid album. I'm sure it's not too dissimilar from a lot of their earlier stuff either. So that's going to be my number 10. Number 9 is going to be from a band called Von Groove, the album titled Born to Rock. This is a Canadian band. This is their first album in 25 years, or their first revival, if you want to call it. It's a hard rock album, of course, produced in Canada. I thought this was a pretty solid album. This is a band I had not heard from or had not heard of prior to this album, so pretty good. I did look at getting this album. They didn't have it at the record store, and I didn't want to pay the price they had. I don't like ordering through the ones that have to come from a place other than right here or the United States. So that's the reason why I didn't have it, but it's going to come here at number 9. Number 8 is Beyond the Black. Break the Silence is the name of the album. This is a German symphonic metal band, female vocalist, I believe. January the 9th was when this was released. Pretty strong album, I thought. I didn't know what to expect from these guys either. I had not heard them before, but I was pleasantly surprised. The album has stood up fairly well considering I did it fairly early in the year. Next up, number 7, Blackstone Cherry, album called Celebrate, American rock band. This came out March the 6th, I believe. It's a hard rock album, so again, another hard rock album. Pretty strong album. I had heard of this band before, but had not listened to anything from them until this album. I thought it was pretty strong, much stronger than I thought it was going to be. Next up is a band called Glucifer. Same Drug New High. This is a hard rock band as well, but they're from Norway as opposed to all the other ones we've had so far, all except for the German one. So they're from Norway. It's their first album for me to listen to since I discovered this band. I thought it was a pretty strong album. Probably could have come up higher had I been able to get it when I was looking for it. As well, most of these albums, for the ones that I had attempted to purchase, would have, if I had been able to get them, they would have finished higher on the list. Next up is, of course, Jeff Tate, Operation Mindcrime 3. This is the former lead vocalist of Queensryche, for most of you who will know that, also American. This is what we would call a prog metal album. So this could have gone in the prog, in the new prog album list. I had actually considered it, but decided that I thought it was more metal than prog, so I decided to put it over here. Anyways, that's going to be my number 5. Number 4, this album was pretty strong. I looked at purchasing it as well. The Lost Legion Rising from Torian, his name of the band. They're a German band. This is what we would call a speed metal kind of power metal band. I think they're primarily known as a power metal band, but there is some speed metal sounds to their music as well. I thought this was quite well done. Definitely would have finished much higher had I been able to get it. Next up, in the number 3 spot, Crimson Glory, Chasing the Hydra, another American band, their 5th studio album. Another power metal, another prog metal, power metal band. Pretty strong. I thought this album was much better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't really care much for it at the beginning, but it just kind of grew on me over the course of the last few weeks when I've been listening to it. Another album that I've been looking at getting. Probably most of these albums, like 2 or 3 of these albums anyways, will end up in my collection before the end of the year. Next up was the most recent album that I went to purchase. I had phoned them. They had it. When I got there, it was gone. I should have asked them to hold it for me, but I was caught up with something else I was doing at the time. This is Armored Saint, coming here at number 2. Heavy metal band, Emotional Factor Reset. This band's been around since 1982. This is their most recent album. Very strong. I thought this could have easily finished at the top had I been able to get it. But even after only about maybe 2 or 3 listens to, it's already in the top 2. Number 1 is the only one that I actually own, and I was able to get it online. And I bought it as soon as I purchased it, the day that I listened to it the last time. And that is the Sheepdogs. Keep Out of the Storm. This is a Canadian band. The only one on the list that isn't considered like hard rock or metal of some sort. This is a southern rock, blues rock type band, even though they're from Saskatchewan. I quite like this album. In fact, it's in my playlist right now, so it's getting a fair bit of attention. I think there's some really strong stuff on here. It's got that real catchy feel to it. Sometimes when I'm listening to them, it kind of remind me a little bit of some older BTO stuff, but really strong. So that's going to be my number 1. Oop, sorry, it's coming out of there. Okay, so that's my top 10 favorite albums to this point in 2026. For the episode of What's New. I'll give them to you back from top to bottom. The Sheepdogs, number 1, and their Keep Out of the Storm album. Number 2 is Armored Saint with Emotional Factor Reset. Number 3, Crimson Glory, Chasing the Hydra. Number 4, Torian, the Lost Legion Rising. Number 5 is Jeff Tate's Operation Mindcrime 3. Number 6 is Glucifer and their album Same Drug, New High. Number 7, the Black Stone Cherry and their album Celebrate. Number 8, Beyond the Black, Break the Silence is the name of the album. Next up is Von Groove and their album Born to Rock. That's number 9. Number 10, the final one, The Black Crowes, A Pound of Feathers, their most recent studio album of their 10 that they have. So that's my list for what's new. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please hit the like and subscribe. We will be back next week on favorites to do the new prog albums. This one will be probably, I think the new prog albums definitely are a bit a notch above what these guys are all good. That's much better. There's at least 4 or 5 of those albums I think are like top shelf albums, and it's going to be difficult actually to rank them. And I do own several of them, so I was able to get them. A couple of them I was surprised to get. The one I had to order online took about a month to come. But we will be doing that list next week. My top 10 new prog albums up to date so far this year. Please, again, hit the like and subscribe. If you want to make any comments about any of these albums, you can do that in the comment section below. And we'll see you all next week for the second episode. Take care and have a good one. Goodbye here from the Prog Monster.